Hello, all of my friends at Nelson County Public Library. I am Little Red Riding Hood. Maybe you could already tell that by my beautiful red cape. Do you know who made this for me? My grandmother made it for me. Isn't it beautiful? I wear it every single time I go see her. And normally Grandma is in really good health and she isn't sick and we have a lot of fun together, just like I'm sure you have fun at your grandmother's house. But today, my grandmother isn't feeling so well and my mom made some soup and some biscuits, and so I have them all packed in my basket here and I have a cloth over it to keep it all nice and warm for Grandma. But I need to make it through the woods all by myself to make sure Grandma gets this. So my mom drew me a map and I'm going to follow the map to Grandmother's house through the woods, and I'm going to be wearing my red cape. But the problem is, Mom said not to talk to strangers. Should I talk to strangers? No, you're right. I shouldn't talk to strangers. That is very, very dangerous to talk to strangers or people that we don't know. So we should always have Mom or Dad around us just in case we get into trouble. We don't want to get into trouble, so we should always have Mom or Dad around us just to make sure we are safe around strangers and we don't talk to them. So that's my mom's #1 rule for today, is not to talk to strangers. So I've got my basket, I've got my cape, and best of all, I have our story we're gonna read today. It's called Little Red Riding Hood. Have you guys ever heard of it before? You have? Wait, some of you haven't? Oh, awesome. I cannot wait to read you my story. There's my red cape, and uh-oh, what animal do you think that is? It does look like a wolf. I wonder if he's a good guy or a bad guy. We're gonna find out. Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived with her mommy in a cottage at the edge of a big forest. Whenever the little girl went outside to play, she wore a beautiful red cloak that her grandmother had made for her. It had a big red hood, so everybody called the little girl Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mommy asked her to take a basket of food to Grandma. Grandma isn't feeling very well, Mommy explained, and I'm sure she'd love to see you. Grandma lived on the other side of the forest, so Mommy drew a map on a piece of paper so that Little Red Riding Hood would not get lost. And remember, don't talk to any strangers along the way, said Mommy, helping Little Red Riding Hood into her cloak. Little Red Riding Hood took the basket of food and skipped into the forest. On the way, Little Red Riding Hood saw some beautiful blue flowers. Grandma might like these, she thought. As she bent down to pick a handful of the flowers up, she didn't realize someone was in the forest with her. Hello, little girl, said the deep, growly voice. Little Red Riding Hood jumped up with fright. That would scare me. A big wolf peered out from behind of one of the trees. Oh, hello, said Little Red Riding Hood, smiling back at the wolf. She had already forgotten her mommy's warning. Where are you going? Growled the wolf. I'm visiting my sick grandma who lives on the other side of the forest, said Little Red Riding Hood. Ah, what a kind girl you are, smiled the wolf, showing off his razor-sharp teeth. Just then, the wolf's tummy gave a loud, rumbly grumble. What was that? Asked Little Red Riding Hood. Just some thunder over the hills, said the sneaky, hungry wolf as he ran away as fast as he could to her grandmother's cottage. Uh-oh. Sounds like he's going to get there before Little Red Riding Hood. The hungry wolf peered through Grandma's window and saw the little old lady in bed. With a howl, the wolf dashed into the cottage and gobbled up Grandma in one gulp. Then the wolf put on Grandma's spare nightcap and her glasses, clambered into her bed and pulled up the quilt to his chin. Now all he had to do was wait for Little Red Riding Hood to arrive. When Little Red Riding Hood reached the cottage, she was surprised to find the front door open. "Grandma," she called, "are you there?" "I'm in the bedroom," replied the wolf in a strange, wobbly voice. Little Red Riding Hood went into the bedroom and gasped in surprise when she saw her grandma. She looked sort of different. Uh-oh, because we know who Grandma is, don't we? "Grandma must be very sick," thought Little Red Riding Hood. "I hope it's not catching." "What big eyes you have, Grandma," she said as she went over to the bed. "All the better for seeing you with," said the wolf in the same wobbly voice. "Grandma, what big ears you have," Little Red Riding Hood added, moving closer. "All the better to hear you with," said the wolf with a toothy grin. What big teeth you have, Grandma," said Little Red Riding Hood. "All the better to eat you with." Oh no. A passing woodcutter heard Little Red Riding Hood scream and ran into the cottage. When he saw the wolf's enormous belly, he guessed what had happened. He picked up the wolf and he shook him really hard. Little Red Riding Hood and Grandma flew out of the wolf's mouth. Luckily, they weren't hurt, but they were very cross. Cross means they're very, very angry. That's what cross means. Grandma, Little Red Riding Hood, and the woodcutter chased the wolf into the forest and over the hill. The embarrassed wolf never came back, and Little Red Riding Hood never ever spoke to strangers again. The end. Oh my goodness, I love that story so, so, so much. And again, you should not talk to strangers, right? We don't want you to get hurt or get into trouble. So Little Red Riding Hood is a very, very good message. Well, you guys, I have to go because I do have to get my soup and biscuits to Grandma. But should I talk to strangers? No, I shouldn't. That is an awesome answer, guys. I hope all of my friends have a great day at the Nelson Public Library. Bye, guys.